Hello, welcome to my channel, Compion. Since I'm just starting out, I thought it'd be best to post a little introduction for newcomers. In short, this will be my means of documenting my journey towards self-mastery, which for me is the intersection of high levels of competence and high levels of connection. And I guess I'll just get the boring definitions out of the way for you. For competence, to me, that's the intersection of awareness, discernment, and control, both within yourself and externally. And similarly, when it comes to connection, it's appreciation and discovery, both again, internally and externally. So the main goal really is to help myself and others to move through life with fulfilling levels of competence and connection in our everyday lives. I also just kind of sliced up the words competence and connection and put them together, hence the word Compion. So just so you know where it's come from. This focus on mastery has largely come from me finding out the hard way that a lot of conventional ways of approaching like hobbies, work, friendships, relationships haven't really worked for me. And as I've grown, I suppose I've become to appreciate that they might not have ever really appealed to me to begin with. I just didn't have any good alternatives. And so in the spirit of embracing change and readily accepting the idea that the world is not so nice to just simply provide me with a space where I can make the most of my potential, I will focus not on finding the method that works for me or the space that works for me, but instead on creating it for myself. So I have lots of ideas of how to kind of start this journey, but what I'm going to start off with is some mindful creative content in the form of poetry. So every week I'm going to set myself a theme to pay attention to for that week. It could be based on people, animate or inanimate objects, or simply just concepts. And then at the end of that week, I'm going to make a poem based on that concept and then share it, along with discussing any of the topics that came up throughout the week that relate to the poem. At the end of the week, I'll put together a poem that draws on the thoughts and experiences based on those themes throughout the week, share it, and then discuss the relevant topics that came up. I'm challenging myself to be more mindful, attentive, and connected to both myself and my surroundings. There's also a few better ways to connect to others than to engage with them and draw on their own experiences and perspectives. And so I'm considering, as this channel grows, for people to be able to suggest different themes of their own for me to pay attention to, maybe make requests for different types of poems, or maybe even a series of poems on a particular theme that I've already covered previously. As I said, there's lots of ideas for this journey, and this channel isn't necessarily going to be strictly strictly limited to only poetry and mindful creativity in the long run. The options will grow as the channel grows. That's all. Let's see how we do. See you next week.